as you've noted in the past, the sheer size of the firm's operations, which continue to grow, will ultimately limit the returns that Berkshire can generate. With that in mind, what do you believe Berkshire's cost of capital is? How much do you think that this hurdle rate has increased as you've acquired more capital-intensive, debt-heavy firms? And how much confidence do you have that future capital allocators at Berkshire will be able to generate returns in excess of the firm's cost of capital?
No, there's no question that size is an anchor to performance, and we intend to prove that up to the point where it starts really biting. But we cannot earn the returns on capital with well over 200, well, with a market cap of 300 plus billion. It just isn't doable. Archimedes, he said he could move the world if he had a long enough lever, didn't he, or something like that, Charlie? Well, I wish I had his lever because we don't have that lever at Berkshire. We'll answer two questions there. In terms of cost of capital, Charlie and I always figure that our cost of capital is what can be produced by our second best idea, and then our best idea has to exceed that. We think, I've listened to so many nonsensical cost of capital discussions that
I've never heard an intelligent one.
Yeah, yeah, it's really true. I mean, and that's another thing. I've been on boards, and the CFO comes in and explains why we're doing this, and it always gets down to, it exceeds our cost of capital, and he doesn't know what the hell his cost of capital is, and I don't know, but I don't embarrass him, so I just sit there and listen to the stuff and apply my own thing, and then still end up voting for it probably if I don't like it, although there have been a few exceptions to that. The real test, over time, is whether what the capital we retain produces more than $1 of market value as we go along. And if we keep putting billions in, and those billions, in effect, are worth, in terms of present value terms, in terms of what they add to the value of the business, more than what we're putting in, we'll keep doing it. We bought a company day before yesterday, I guess it was, and we are spending close to $3 billion US. It's a Canadian company, and we think we will be better off financially because we did that, and we thought it was the best thing that we could do with the $3 billion on that day. And those are the yardsticks that we have. And what I do know is that I've never seen a CEO who wanted to do a deal where the CFO didn't come in and say it exceeded the cost of capital. It's a game as far as we're concerned, and we think we can evaluate businesses, and we know the capital we have available, and we have things that we can sell to buy, not businesses, but marketable securities. We can sell to buy businesses if we like, and we are constantly measuring that opportunity cost that Charlie talked about in the movie. It's an important subject, and one that I think has had more nonsense written about it than about anything, but I'll turn it over to Charlie to go further.
Well, a phrase like cost of capital, which means different things to different people, and often means silly things to people who teach in business schools. We just don't use it. Warren's definition of behaving in a corporation so that every dollar retained tends to create more than $1 of market value for the shareholders is probably the best way of describing cost of capital. That is not what they mean in business schools. The answer is perfectly simple. We're right and they're wrong.
I look good compared to him, don't I?